I normally try and keep this this channel very spiritual, and it still is, even though I do some one-offs on different things from time to time. This is a one-off day, honey. I really wonder how everybody is feeling about so many people's stuff coming forward um, in the form of exposure in the past few years. But this year's been like crazy. I mean, really crazy. Um, this is, of course, in response to seeing the video of Diddy stomping someone he wanted to control. And there's so much more. The politicians, there's more stars, there's more stuff coming out. Like, a lot of people base their free time, recreation sometimes around spending money on things that may have been concert to these people, going to the Capitol to visit because, government is happening down there, because there's stuff happening with the government too, and different elected officials. And then also, musicians. There's just so much. There's obviously also celebrities, like the stuff that's happening with J-Lo and Ben Affleck, if that's actually true, because nothing's come forward yet. So everybody's kind of just waiting to see. Nothing official has really come out saying that. I mean, it has. It's all over the news mags, but, there's so much happening. And the thing is that we get to sort of watch these people and not understand how much we actually contribute to their opulence and their lifestyle just by watching. I think over at TikTok, I was hearing something about the amount of followers and views for celebrities constituted very high paying contracts, and I'm not sure who they were with. And then, of course, when there's endorsements as far as a perfume, a shoe, a bag, a clothing line, makeup, a lingerie line, nail polish, wigs, weaves. There's just so much that we as a general society of human beings contribute in this country alone to giving these people the type of entrance into a stratosphere that makes them feel like nobody else has humanity outside of them. And when you're hearing about some of this behavior, it's there. That behavior has always been there. The one thing you learn about money when you're working in the monetary energy, as I like to do, is that money only amplifies your personality. It doesn't make your personality. You don't become a different person because you got some money. You the same person, you just now got some money. So if you are the type of person that is very elitist and classist towards people that work for you, or work with you or buy from you or buy from a store that you work in. Like, you know how you could be at a store and looking at a person like they don't deserve to be in there, like they're the bottom of your shoe. And I'm not saying that a person would do that, that anybody else would do that, but people have experienced this behavior, and it's not always race driven, but it is driven by a personality that believes like, oh, you shouldn't be here, that type of thing. I think it's put together when you see shoot, I can't remember the movie with Richard Gere and Julia Roberts. I really cannot remember that movie. But it happens to her in Beverly Hills on Rodeo Drive. It happens everywhere. But let's say a person like that then gets a whole lot of cash. They're in charge of a whole lot of money. They have a whole lot of money riding on them, and they're, you know what I mean, taking care of a whole lot of people. Then you get to see their personality on front stage. And there are a lot of handlers, a lot of PR people and stuff like that who are in place to make sure that nobody sees the stuff that will really rumple feathers, that will really tick people off and make them not want to spend money with them on anything that they are promoting, right? But then you start to hear the whisperings. This stuff is not just with, say, take for instance, I mean, the obvious person right now, everybody is bashing J Lo, but J Lo's been the way she's been for a very long time. I don't know why this is big news now. She's always been like that. The stuff that people have been they've been talking about this woman for decades now, decades, and it's just flown under, or people don't care. They like her no matter what, right? But there are so many others, and it's coming forward. Like, people are becoming aware of, like right now, Oprah Winfrey, like J Lo, along with a whole bunch of investors, decided that the color purple had to be rehashed for the public. And like, I didn't go see it. I was like, I'm not seeing it. The best was the movie Steven Spielberg, the one she was in. I'm not re-seeing this. I've never seen the play. Like, I read the book and I watched the movie years ago. But now, from behind the scenes, you are hearing about bad treatment of other actresses, and a lot of people were not thinking that that was the case. People were not thinking like that. And this it was a dragnet that started to move and grab a lot of people, but they, sort of stopped that. They hushed that. Oh, you can't talk about this person, blah, 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 blah. I think it was Will Packer, because that they were coming for him too. I think it was Monique that was speaking about that. But the thing is that, how is everybody dealing with knowing that we attributed so much to these people? They literally kind of represent pop culture in this country for so many people, and this is across race boundaries. This has nothing to do with race. There were a lot of people sitting in Oprah's show in Chicago when she was filming, and not all of them looked like my people. Okay, a lot of people hoped to be there when Oprah was giving away her favorite things. Okay, when she was giving away cars, when she was giving away creams that made her smell like perfume even though she wasn't wearing any, when she was giving away I think food. I mean, obviously food, because she always had somebody on her show that was cooking, like the chef, or the guy that was, the chef that used to cook for her. Different people. We all got so used to watching her show, and it was literally an end of an era when she decided to close the show and invite memorable guests and all that kind of stuff onto the show, and then go on to do other things. And so she's kind of somewhat out of the limelight. She's doing what she wants, talking to people about things and insulating herself. But with that insulation, there's still who she was floating around out there, and it's now coming forward. And some habits die hard. Some old habits die hard. Um, I think it's interesting that she starts a lot of shows based on the same type of tired material, and it always gets canceled because nobody's interested in it anymore. Okay, I think it's like her fantasy. Like she lives in that world, but step away from Oprah for a minute, right? Step away from her. What is this now going on with, like, there's just so much exposure happening. TD Jakes, I'm not even Christian, and I'm watching that like, oh my God, because so many people really um espoused his message and really felt community at the Potter's house. I don't know what's going on now. I think they're all still down there. I think they're supporting and going forward with their lives. But what's happening? He wasn't caught. He's caught in a totally different type of scandal, which I think for the position that he holds or was holding it at the time is more egregious than anything else that we've seen. But nonetheless, you can't, like he said, he gonna get through it. Handing things over to people doing his thing. But how is everybody doing? I saw something today about Justin Timberlake. I'm sitting here like, and it's not just having a child. They got some real horrible accusations out there against this man. I'm sitting here like, what? 2024 did not come to play with us. And I mean that. It did not be, and these people, I know you think, oh, it doesn't matter. They're celebrities. Why do you care? There's more important stuff going on in the world, and there damn sure is. But it seems like everybody's being thrown under the bus, or all their stuff is being exposed, so that we're not keeping our eyes focused on what is happening in the world. Because when you become aware of it, it's just like, I want to buy a new phone. I want to buy a new phone. I really do. And then I think about Congo. I think about what's going on there. I think about children in bags being sold. I don't even understand what that is. I like what? I think about the fact that the Congo has been happening for a long time. It's getting the attention because of what's going on in the Middle East again. Because when I was growing up, it was happening then. And it was a different area of the same strip of land. And yet we are still, as human beings, so freaking divided. Like how's everybody feeling about that? Like, because the truth is, I was a little girl and it was happening then, right? So this is like in the 80s. And it was in the papers. It wasn't on an app like this. It wasn't on a phone like this. It would be on the news at night in a quick snippet, but it did not have the front stage that it has now back then. And we still saw, people come from, especially in my community, we saw people come from that part of the world and have real serious biases and views against people that look like us having views. They still do, right? That stuff is still floating out there. And yet there are so many of us that are rallying the cry of how can we watch? How can we watch? And they're not even allowing us to watch. They're trying to keep it from us. How can we be aware and watch, aware of and watch these people be literally slaughtered in front of the world and nothing's happening? Like, but then I think about that. It's like racism. When racism is all, like, when it's happening, and you think about PC, you think about the right way to be, and then you got these people out here just like, no, I'm just going to do what I want to do, and I feel the way I feel, and you ain't nothing, and I'm going to do what I want, and I don't care. Some of these people are running countries. Countries. Then I think about the people who want to get away, who wanted to get to a different place. And they do look like me, but they're not from this country. They wanted to go someplace different, and then when war broke out, they were stuck because nobody would welcome them into their country, and there was no evacuation to get them back home. I don't know if those people are still stuck there in those countries. It there's just so much happening. And I'm just talking about three things right now. The fourth one, I mean, it's just so much going on. I mean, it's literally a young lady who's on TikTok. She's very good, honey. Very good. She reports almost every day, a few times a day, about what's going on in Gaza. Okay, I don't know how to say it the correct way, and I'm not from that culture. I will never. I don't get it. But please excuse